Knicks family, what's poppin'? It's your boy. Yes, sir, ladies and gentlemen. 7 games in a row. 7 games in a row, ladies and gentlemen. The New York Knicks on a nice win streak. A season-defining winning streak right now. Let's say that. Beautiful win streak by the New York Knicks. 7 games in a row. They beat the Charlotte Hornets tonight, 109-97. And let me tell you what, the Knicks started off. They jumped out to a 9-point lead, just like that. Bam. Knocked down a couple of threes, jumped out to a 9-point lead. But Charlotte stormed right back. Behind the heroics of P.J. Washington. Come out, knocking down threes. And Charlotte was playing fast in that first half. They were playing fast. They were getting up and down the floor. They didn't take more than 2 dribbles before they moved the basketball. 2 dribbles, nothing. They moved the basketball. Didn't have the lane to the basket. They moved the basketball. And it kept the Knicks defense on their heels. It's like their philosophy, and I think Josh said it earlier. It's like their philosophy was to play fast so the Knicks defense couldn't set up. And they did a good job of doing that in the first half. The Knicks fell behind to the Charlotte Hornets. Then they came back and they went back and forth in the second quarter. Ultimately, they were down 66-60 at half. Yes, they gave up 66 points to the Charlotte Hornets in the first half. And I was saying to myself, there's no way they're going to keep these guys under 100 points. They're going to have to score some points to win this game. But then they came out in the second half, ladies and gentlemen. They only gave up 31 points in the second half. 31 points in the second half. Played excellent defense. They showed heart. And they came out and they dominated the third quarter. And I was a little bit concerned about that third quarter because, you know, in recent games, we take a lead and then we lose it in the third quarter. But tonight it was opposite. We were down and we came back and took the lead in the third quarter. Now, in the third quarter, about 8 minutes left in the third quarter, we were over the limit. We couldn't foul anymore. We were going to put Charlotte to the line. And we got out of the quarter without it severely hurting us. We got out of the quarter with a nice lead. Then we dominated the fourth quarter for the most part. Very good game from the New York Knicks tonight. Even though they started off, even though they, it got a little rocky in that second quarter, end of the first, second quarter, got a little bit rocky. They were able to regroup and take control of the basketball game. That's all you can ask for, ladies and gentlemen. The Knicks are on a 7-game winning streak. This was an important win. One, because they tied a season series with the Charlotte Hornets. There's 1 game left. 1 game left. And if they can win that game, then they'll win the season series with the Charlotte Hornets, as well as have control of the tiebreaker. They moved themselves into the 5th seed tonight. Boston lost last night. The Knicks won tonight. So the Knicks are now 32-27. They're in the 5th seed. And they play Atlanta tomorrow. And if they can take care of Atlanta tomorrow, then they'll have sole possession of the 4th seed. And this is exactly where we want to be. Exactly where we want to be, ladies and gentlemen. Very good game by the New York Knicks tonight. The Charlotte Hornets, they were led by P.J. Washington tonight. He came out scorching when he came off the bench, ladies and gentlemen. He was scorching. He had 26 points tonight. 3 rebounds, 1 steal. Terry Rozier, he had 21 points, 7 rebounds, and 8 assists. Miles Bridges, he had 15 points and 14 rebounds. 1 block, 1 steal, 3 assists. The Knicks, they were led by R.J. Barrett, ladies and gentlemen. And the Knicks had good, balanced, all-around scoring tonight. All-around scoring from this team tonight. Right, R.J. Barrett led the team in scoring with 24 points. 1 block. 1 rebound. Like to see more rebounds, but I'm not going to squabble. Julius Randle, he had 16 points, 10 rebounds, 7 assists. Didn't shoot too well from the field or from 3 tonight. Reggie Bullock came up big again. He had 16 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 steal, 1 block for Reggie Bullock. Derrick Rose came up big again. He had 17 points, 4 assists. Emmanuel quickly had 17 points and one assist and 1 rebound. And Nerlens Noel, he had 4 points, 11 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, and 2 blocks. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, the Knicks played a very good game tonight. Very good game tonight. Yeah, love to see it. Love to hear it. Let's get to our panel. Let's find out what's going on with, how everybody's feeling. I'm going to start with Cornerstone Kev, and then we'll get around to everybody, ladies and gentlemen. Then we'll get around to everybody. Congratulations to all of you, man. Congratulations. Good win tonight. Cornerstone, what's popping, bro? How you feeling?
Oh, I'm on cloud 9. That was a song by the Temptations, doing fine on cloud 9, but it's 7 right now, so that's all right. Yeah, just an overall, just great performance by these guys, man. From Julius Randle all the way down to it was just an all-team effort, man. It really is. It's great to see these guys play defense. The one thing I'm gonna say is that at halftime, their assistant coach had an interview with Rebecca Harlow, and he stressed that. Well, the one thing that Tibbs had stressed was that the Hornets weren't feeling the defense of the Knicks. So he's harped on that. In that second half, they felt them all over. I mean, my God, they were getting on him, and it was just great to see, man. I'm glad that we finally got a win against them. It took 5 times that they had beaten us. We finally got a victory against them, and let's just get ready for tomorrow night. This game is over. We won it. Let's get ready for tomorrow. That's all you can ask for. Yeah, but I will say that people still don't. I think fans still. Some fans probably still feel that this is all a mirage, that it's not real, that we're going to, somehow blow the whole thing, like that. And I'm telling you, it's not, man. It's a new day.
All right.
It's a new day.
All right. Tony, how you feeling, man? Talk to me. How you feeling?
Oh, man, I'm feeling good. Well, me personally, I'm tired, but, 7-game win streak. Let's salute the Knicks, man. We playing as a team. That's one of the things I'm noticing right now. A lot of times we were playing hero ball early in the year, and we got a couple of wins with some hero ball. I think now we're realizing when we play together, when we play as a team, we could rock with the best of them. I've been asking for a nice win streak. I thought 5 was going to be good enough, but I'm happy with 7. Let's get it to 8.
Yeah.
D Rose is standing out right now. He's coming up big in the clutch. He looking like Mitchell Robinson, blocking threes and blocking shots. RJ Barrett started the first half 1 for 8 and led the team in scoring. Come on, man. We gotta clap it up for these guys.
That's what I'm saying, man. Because you know what? This is a team that every time they've had faced adversity, they found a way to scrape their way out of it, right? They hit some losing streaks, they scraped their way out of it. Everyone's talking about, the second half of the season is going to be this, that, and the third. They hit a rough patch and they scrape and claw and find their way out of it. You know what I mean? And I don't want to say it, but I'm going to say it. That is a beautiful trait to have when you go into the playoffs. Because when you get into the playoffs, you get down 2-0, 2-1, whatever. You know that your team has that kind of DNA where they will fight their way out of that hole. That's a beautiful trait to have. Steph?
Listen, who would have thought? 7. I'm looking for 9 though, but I appreciate this game. We gave up 66 points in the first half. and then came back and held them. Did you say 7-31?
31 points in the second half.
Yeah, that's what we need to do. And not only is Bullock hitting big shots for us, we put him on Rozier, and that was the end of that.
Yep.
He was killing us in the first quarter. So he's doing a job for us. Noel is doing a job. Taj, everybody is chipping in. Roll shot, his mid-range, the floater, the three, all of it is working. So, it's amazing because Mitch goes out and now we like, Mitch, what? Berkeley? It's like we're not missing a beat. And we do need them guys. Don't get me wrong. Would definitely help us. But we just not, we're not missing a beat. Talk about next man up. Like, this is the epitome of it. So I'm really excited about it. We get this game tomorrow. We in fourth place.
Yeah.
Fourth place.
Yeah, it's
Fourth
funny
place.
you mentioned. It's funny you mentioned about Bullock. I'm telling you, I think we could say right now is that when his 3-point shot goes up, it's automatic now, because someone's setting the great screen for him, and the way he's shooting the ball, it just looks like it's automatic. It really does. It looks like it's every time he lets it go, it's going in.
Yeah.
I haven't seen him take one bad shot in a long time. Long time.
No, and
I haven't
listen,
seen it.
Bullock took 12 shots tonight, and all 12 of them were threes.
Yeah.
But he's confident. I feel like when he catches the ball, he's catching it in rhythm between him and Julius Randle. Normally it's Julius Randle finding him. He catches the ball in rhythm. Randle's delivering a good pass. And we're seeing that with everyone, right? When they make those passes, they're a little bit more clean and on point. You know what I'm saying? Which allows the shooter to catch the ball in rhythm and go up. Rob Al, he said, great overall Knicks win. The only negative that stuck with me was in the third quarter with Peyton. He made some boneheaded decisions. He did. He said the Tibbs pulled him. He did. He made 2 boneheaded decisions, right? RJ was wide open on the wing. And at the moment, RJ was hitting. He looked him off and took it to the basket. And then he came down and went to the basket again and picked up the offensive foul. And then Tibbs did what you're supposed to do. Took him out, sat him on the bench. He didn't see the floor. You know what I'm saying? This ain't the time to make mistakes, man. This ain't the time to make mistakes. You make mistakes right now, at this point, you're sitting. This ain't the time to make mistakes. Go ahead, Tony. You was about to say something?
At that particular moment of the game, I wasn't watching, but I was listening. And Breen or Clyde, one of them said that, like, Peyton looks off RJ. And what was he doing? So in my head, I'm listening to that, and I'm like, I know the chat is going crazy right now.
especially if the Knicks would have lost the game, they'd have been like, he looked him off. That was it. That changed the game. 2 bad plays though. 2 bad plays, and he deserved to be set down.
Is that a sign of being selfish? Would you say?
I don't know if it's a sign of being. I don't know. It's just.
But I wouldn't call him.
The reason why I say that is because you see that a lot. I mean, now we always say how Randall sets up Reggie and whoever, and we always seen him pass it off and everything. We see RJ do the same thing and everything. I'm telling you, unless I'm looking at something different, I'm not really seeing it that much out of Peyton.
You don't see what? You're not seeing what?
See him passing. I see him just taking it himself, and I hate. I hate talking bad about Peyton because he is an integral part of what we're trying to do and everything. But when you look at the eye test, it's like in a situation like that. I
would tell you this. I would tell you this. Go look at Peyton, how many shots he takes per game, and then go look at how many passes he makes per game, and then you'll know if he passes the ball.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because most of the time he has the ball, he passes it. Of course, he goes to the basket, but I don't think it's selfishness. He made 2 stupid plays.
Okay.
Yeah, but I will say he does pass the ball, but I think his playmaking has regressed. I mean, part of it I mean, obviously from Orlando, and you can argue that that's because we play at a slower pace, it's more half court. But even from this season, it seemed like his playmaking has regressed some.
Yeah, the thing about it, you look at the two mindsets between him and Rose. Rose is, he'll get his shots, but he's still looking for people. I'm not seeing that.
Well,
like you said, what I'll do, I'll look at the statistics and everything and see how many attempts he makes and
takes. How many takes him? But it's first of all, Derrick Rose just has better court vision. So that's the one thing. He's a better guard, right? He's a better guard that has better court vision and understands the game better. So he's going to make better passes naturally.
Right.
You know what I mean? Right. I mean that's just it. He's going to make better passes naturally. He just has a better understanding of the basketball game than Elfrid Payton does.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And then of course, they play with, for the most part, until you get down in the crunch time, they play with two different groups of people too.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, but either way, I don't care who sat on the bench or who was in the game. We pulled that joint out and won it. That's all that I care about. You know what I'm saying? We pulled it out. We won the game, and we're on a 7-game winning streak. Everybody is excited about it. Everybody loves it. Everybody's excited about it. And the team continues to grow. It's like what you can see with this team is they feel like no obstacle. They're not afraid of any obstacle, it feels like, right? They feel like they can overcome any obstacle. And even when I'm watching games and I see us down 10 with 4 minutes left, I still feel confident that, we can at least make it close because of the type of defense we play and, just the constant fight in this team that they play all the way down to the last buzzer. They don't stop. Their chemistry is just continuing to grow and grow and grow and grow. You're just loving to see it, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it again, Sim. We have about 85 to 90% of the same team we had last year, and it's like night and day. We had two coaches last year who, even though the season was shortened. And there was no telling what Mike Miller could have done, but still, it seems like now we have an arrogance to us, and that comes from the confidence that Tibbs has done.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say it again. He deserves it. He deserves strong consideration for Coach of the Year.
Right,
he deserves it.
A lot of it comes down to the preparation that Tibbs provides for the team. You know what I mean? The level of preparation that, for against opponents, how you're going to game plan against opponents. But we cannot discount the little pieces, though, that you add to a team. Alec Burks, Derrick Rose, Nerlens Noel, Emmanuel Quickley. Those little pieces add a lot. I know a lot of our players came back, but those pieces add a lot to your team. You know what I'm saying? When you look down the stretch of the basketball game, Alec Burks plays, Derrick Rose plays, Nerlens Noel plays. Those guys weren't here last year. So you got 3 guys.
No, they weren't.
Right? 3 guys that are giving you production down the stretch of basketball games that weren't here last year. And you can throw Emmanuel Quickley in there because sometimes he's giving you that as well. So there's still some pieces that were added to the team, to grow. And there's still going to be more pieces that's added in the future so that the team can continue to grow. Tony, go ahead, man.
Yeah, that's what I think.
And to piggyback off of what you're saying, I got 2 comments. One, let's not discount Randall's improvement this year from last year and RJ's improvement this year from last year. And, Mitch's improvement, learning how to stay on the floor. When not hurt. But learning not to get in foul trouble. Like those 3 things also contribute. I want to throw that out there, but I also agree that Tibbs 100% should be in the running for Coach of the Year. unequivocally, the defense is what he changed. Like, you know what I mean? That's what he brought. The work ethic, that firm belief in practice will translate on in the real game.
Yeah.
And the players buying in and believing.
Yeah.
Right. And accountability.
Yeah. Accountability. And to your point, Tone, with Tibbs, that started all the way back to when we had our mini camp while the bubble was still going on. He planted the seeds right then and there, and it's just blossoming, and it's not done blossoming. It's not done.
Yeah. Steph, go ahead, Steph.
I was just going to say, you can argue that it's not even the same. I mean, that it's not even the same team, because remember, Knox is out of the rotation.
Right.
Frank is out of the rotation.
Right.
We got 4 new people in the rotation.
Right.
As Tony said, Randall is improved. RJ is improved. So I think we can't just
So
say
it's
the
only like 4
difference-
guys. Yeah, it's only like 4 guys.
Yeah, I don't know if the difference is just we have a different coach. I think there's other variables as well.
Yeah, a lot of variables, even down to the assistant coaches and the way that they work with the players before and after the game, the things that they say to them as they're sitting down and having discussions with them and explaining where they maybe made mistakes during the game or things that they did well during the game. All those little developmental things go into your team being successful.
Yeah, I wish I could be a fly on the wall to listen to some of those conversations and everything, because whatever they're saying to them, they're soaking it up and just applying it to, when they go out on the floor and everything.
Yeah. I'm going to be honest with you. You might not want to be a fly on the wall for some of those conversations, because while, it all looks
like at halftime, at halftime.
Yeah. While it all looks nice and kumbaya to us, when you get back in those locker rooms and you're really having, coaches are having discussions with players, sometimes it don't sound as pretty as you might think it sounds. It's not like, hey, Kev. It's not like, hey, Kev, you know what? You missed that shot. You got to take advantage of it. It's like, man, you better take advantage of what you got to take advantage of. Now let's go out here on the court and work on that shot. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And then, to your point, the next day when they're at practice, they're having a film session. I'm sure he's digging into them as well, during the film session as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me get to this phone call here. Caller, you live. What's popping?
Sam, what's going on?
What's up with you, man? How you feeling?
I'm feeling wonderful. I called you back in July, and the day Tibbs was putting the pen to the piece of paper, when I told you, Sam, that I felt this was the greatest day in the history of the franchise since trading for Latrell Sprewell, but I really believed it.
Okay.
Wow. Spree.
Okay.
I really believed it. And then, I know Isaiah, he told me I'm Thibodeau's son after the call. He thought I was Tom Thibodeau's son, but I really believed it, Sam. Sam, we have a guy in the locker room at halftime of this game where I don't have to worry that the message isn't going to get across, that they have to feel us. I know he's telling them what they don't want to hear.
Right.
Because there's a price you have to play for playing defense on a night where maybe I don't feel like playing defense. It's the Hornets, LaMelo's out. Nope, sorry, that's not going to get it done. You got to play defense. You got to make them feel you. You're at home, 31 points in the second half, and the boys are putting in work after the game. Sim, they're shooting after the game.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. There's no doubt about that, man. They put in the work. You know what else I like about Thibodeau? I feel like he instills within them, and the team takes it on that, okay, something happened. You got yourself into it. Now you got to figure out how to get yourself out of it. Right? It's not over just because you got yourself into it. There's still a way to pull this out. Like tonight in the first half, they allowed Charlotte to get hot from 3. Either they allowed them or they just got hot from 3, because sometimes that's going to happen. A team is just going to get hot and there's nothing you can do about it. right? But this team has the mentality to say, no matter what's in front of us, no matter what the obstacle is, they feel like they can get over it.
Yeah, and I thought the ball moved really well. And in the 7-game winning streak, Sim, we're averaging 22 assists. It's really nice when Rose is giving me 5, Bullock's giving me 5. If those dudes, because, Alfred's, like you said, his vision is not the greatest. I mean, a couple times RJ's wide open, and I'm saying, Elf, look, we need your penetration, but I don't need you to take a crazy drive. Just hit RJ. Just make the easy pass. So Derek, to me, is seeing the floor. I think Derrick Rose, he's been terrific. I got to give him his flowers. He's playing great basketball. I was happy. Look, Tibbs is giving Knox an opportunity, Sam. He's unplayable. That was the one disappointment for me tonight. I thought Knox got an opportunity. I wanted to see more. And unfortunately, the few minutes he was in there, I was disappointed. And we're going to need Kevin Knox. There's going to be a moment where we all know that. We're going to need him to come up in a big game.
Right.
But I think Randall will be sharper tomorrow. We need him to be sharper. I believe that he will be there for us if we're going to stop Trae Young. And we have to, because there's a price you have to pay to win 8 in a row. We will do it. Salute to the panel, Tony Crow, Steph, the Queen, and Cornerstone Kev, his boy, Frank, celebrating with us tonight.
My man.
Let's get... Boys, this is a beautiful time. I just want to say salute to you, Sim, and what you're doing, bringing the Knicks community together. And let's get this done, man. This is fun.
Let's do
I'm
it.
having fun,
this
man.
This is real fun. It's really fun. It's beautiful. Appreciate you, man. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Kevin Knox, man.
See you later, bro.
Kevin Knox, he's getting his chances. See, my thing with Kevin Knox is I don't feel like Kevin Knox is an instant offense type of guy. And I know that's what, Tibbs is maybe putting him out there, seeing if he can, find lightning in a bottle. I just don't feel like that's Kevin Knox. I feel like Kevin Knox is the type of player that maybe needs a couple minutes to get up and down the floor, feel the ball in his hand a little bit, make a move here, make a move there, and then he starts to feel the rhythm. So, I know there have been nights, I guess, when he's come in and he knocked down a couple of threes right off the bench. But it's hard to go from not playing and then get in and expect it to produce just like that, in 5 minutes. We'll see. Hopefully Tibbs continues to go with him a little bit, to see if he can start to catch his footing and get warm. We'll see.
But like you said, Sam, he's unfortunately situational. So once Burks comes back, that's gonna be it.
Yeah, well, I mean, we're talking about right now while Burks is out.
Right now.
I fully expect and want Burks to get back in when he gets back. You know what I'm saying? I want him to get back in.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Let me get to a couple of these super chats here. Big shout out to Chris. I want to say shout out to Chris Willard. I didn't get a chance to give it a shout out earlier today for the super chat. She said, salute to the NBK fam. Hashtag the QC. Yes. Friday, another show. Be ready for it, ladies and gentlemen. Chetnik, thank you for the super chat. He said the Knicks defense is like a rope-a-dope. It was that tonight. You know what I'm saying? We maybe suckered them in a little bit in the first half, and then we delivered a couple of knockout blows in the second half. Quindell Berry, thank you for the super chat. He said 2 weeks ago we said Mitch's future contract is rising. Now it's declining. You're right about that. A couple of weeks ago, it seemed like that thing was rising by the second every time somebody got hurt. Now it's declining.
Man. And they might throw the bag. They might throw the bag at Nolans.
We'll see. I don't know. Jamar DeGraffin Reed, thank you for the super chat, or the little icon dude down there. Appreciate you.
Yeah.
Send 1129 Steve Averna. You said, thank you for the super chat. You said Knicks tic-tac-toe 7 in a row. 7 in a row, man. 7 in a row. I don't know when is the last time we won that many in a row. And then CT Pittman, thank you for the super chat. You said, great win. I'm going to be insufferable at work tomorrow. Knicks fan in North Carolina. Yes, go get them. And by the way, CT, Gave me a $99 super chat. So I really appreciate that.
Yeah.
Hopefully it wasn't a mistake and you just accidentally hit the 9 twice. Let me know if it was. I got you. Just let me know if it was, all right? I appreciate you for that,
better
my
you
brother.
Than Isaiah. Better you, Isaiah, because he keep the money.
Right. I appreciate that, man. Mark Jackson, thank you for the super chat. He said, salute to the chat, the panel. I got to pinch myself. We're not in the lottery this year. From last to first, go New York, go New York, go. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if we're last to first yet, but we went from the bottom to close to being in that 4th seed right now. It's amazing what a coach can do, 1 or 2 players can do, and then just some structure and discipline. Those kind of things go a long way. Get to another phone. Go ahead. Call it. You're live. What's popping?
Thank you, panel, for taking my call. I called in earlier when Rose first joined the team, and I kind of said an ironic statement that had the whole panel laughing that you guys are going to the championship. But I want to make 3 quick points about the team.
Okay.
First, about the coach. The only person on y'all panel that gets Tom Thibodeau is the lady right there. She is the only one who has the insight of his defensive schemes and the way he plays different players. She understands it. She even called it when Mitch got hurt. She said, unless he's dead, Tibbs is going to play him. Mm-hmm. So he's a machine. We called him the Terminator in Chicago. Okay, check with the coach. You guys got Coach of the Year. Let's go to the team. As constructed, you guys don't really need anything. This team has heart. Outside looking in, Rose came there saying he wants a chip. Tibbs wants a chip. That's the only thing those 2 guys don't have. There's 3 players on that team, Rose, Tibbs, and Gibson, who understand the big mission. You guys are going to the championship. Okay, quick to the playoffs. On the playoffs, I want the Knicks to match up with the Bucks. Take Giannis out, go to Philly, knock them out, hit the Lakers, win the world chip, and bring some respect back to the NYC. Peace. Thank you for taking my call.
All right. I appreciate you, my man. I appreciate you. All I'm going to say is, I'm going to just say this. I just want to get to the 4th or 5th seed and then take it from there. Take it from there. Yeah. Because I feel like we get to the 4th or 5th seed, we can advance to the 2nd round. I do. I feel like we can, because like if we're in that 4th or 5th seed, we could be playing the Hawks, we could be playing Boston, we could be playing Miami, right? That's a tough matchup in that 4th or 5th seed. Could be playing Miami,
and again, that's why I wanted another crack at either a Miami or a Brooklyn or a Philly. Now that we've played them, all 3 of them, we're not going to have a chance to see them until the playoffs.
Right.
But you know what, Kev? We played them close. We played Philly close. We played Miami close. Think about when the Giants played the Patriots, right? Even though they lost, when they got into the playoffs, they knew they could beat them. Just a few tweaks here and there, we can beat these guys. So I still think even though we lost, they may still be confident.
Yeah. And I do. I think this team is confident. I think they truly are confident that they can beat anyone. Even with the teams like the Brooklyns and Philadelphias that they came close to winning but couldn't get over the hump. I feel like they probably look at those games and say, these little things here, if we tweak this and we tweak that, we can get a win.
Am I thinking too hard because Philly didn't have Embiid? Because the first time we played them, that was like I think the 2nd game of the season. So I'm not even counting that. But Embiid is a monster, and I know we came up short against those two games. Embiid wasn't in there, and right now Embiid he's one of the finalists for MVP, man, and he's a load. He's a load. I really wish Mitch was back. I really do.
I mean, Mitch ain't gonna do too much with Joel Embiid either. So,
I guess I'm saying that because he's another, a big body, and 2, he's played Embiid the most out of all these guys because he was in our division.
Nerlens Noel practiced with Joel Embiid. Trust me, he's been up against Noel Embiid more than Mitch. Neither one of those guys can do anything with Joel Embiid. But you know what? I'm just focused on trying to get to the right area in that first round.
Right.
That's where my focus is. Now, who do we play? Listen, if we play Miami, that's going to be a tough series. There's no doubt about that. That's going to be a tough series, right? Boston, that's going to be a tough series too. I think we can beat Boston. I think we can beat Atlanta. If we ended up playing Charlotte, I wouldn't like playing Charlotte. I don't like our matchup against Charlotte at all. They have a lot of live bodies, young legs. I hate the matchup against the Charlotte Hornets. You know what I'm saying? I think we can beat them, but it's not. I won't want to play them in the playoffs. I wouldn't, because I just don't like the matchup that we have against the Hornets.
I think, and by the time we do play them, they'll probably be fully healthy as well. They'll have LaMelo, they'll have Gordon Hayward, and they'll have Monk and all those guys.
Right. Yeah. I just don't like the matchup against them. But look, we got another game tomorrow night. We play the Atlanta Hawks tomorrow night. This is going to be the healthiest that we've seen this team when we play them tomorrow. What's your outlook, Tony? I'll start with you. What's your outlook on this game versus the Atlanta Hawks?
It's definitely winnable. It's gonna be a test right now, man. I'm super excited, man. I think we focus. I think remember what I was saying, like in January. Just stay 500, and then just start peaking at that right time. I think we peaking right now. I think we peaking. I think we focus.
How many games over 500 are we? How many games over 500?
Five games. Five games over 500.
Games.
Yeah, I think
that's some work, man.
I think it's all about us, man. I don't think the opponent even matters at this particular point. If we come in and play our game, and stay focused, I think we're golden. I do have a question for you, real quick, or for anyone. Like, what do you think? Because we've been talking about these step by step, these goal by goals.
Yes, little goals.
And we kind of like, at least for us or for me, we kind of skip some goals. You know what I mean?
What goal
by step, we took a couple of jumps real quick.
It's Tom Thibodeau's fault. Before the game, he told the players it's okay to look at the playoff seedings and stuff like that. Just stay focused on here. It's his fault.
But my question is, what is it that you would like to see from the team as a next goal or a next step?
Yeah,
this season or in general?
Well, in this season.
This season. So my next step this season. Yeah, my next step this season is to get the 500. Get win number 36. That's that's the next goal. That's the next small goal, right? We've been talking about small goals. To me, that's the next small goal. Get to win 36. We got 32 wins now. We need 4 more to get to win 36.
4 more.
Right? That secures your 500 season right there. When you get that 36 win.
500 or better.
Right. 500 or better. So, so for me, that's the next thing I'm looking at. We got 4 more games to get to 500. You know what I mean? And then,
if you don't mind,
and then I'm setting out that goal. Like if I'm Tom Thibodeau, I'm setting out, okay, we want to get to 500, but let's not lose sight of this down here. We want that 4th to 5th seed. You know what I'm saying? You heard Nerlens Noel say we want home court advantage, right? Before the game even started, he said we're looking at that home court advantage. You know what I mean? So you got to keep that up there. That's a carrot. That's your carrot up there, right? But then you got these smaller steps that you got to take to get there, and I think getting to 500 is one of them.
Yeah. Well, look what came on the panel. What you got to complain about tonight, Mr. Isaiah?
And if you don't mind, I would like to hear Steph's response. If
I think this. I was gonna go in the game like we got to get better down the stretch, but I think in terms of overall, I think let's finish the season out as a 500 or above team, and let's get that 4 or 5 seed, and then the third thing, let's win that first round in the playoffs.
Right. So
Get to the second round.
So what was you said you were gonna go with something in the game, right? What was that?
I was thinking more that, in terms of our evolution as a team, just for us to get better closing out games, and we are.
Mm-hmm.
But to get even better, and I don't really want to talk. I mean, Randall's our best player, and I know it seems like I'm picking on him, but I just need him to take better shots, and I just need just to refine his game just a little bit more.
Right.
One thing about Randall I've noticed is, like, when he gets in that area where he's taking those shots that he shouldn't be.
Yeah, his sweet spot.
He flips it back. You know what I mean? Like, especially when it starts going down the stretch.
Yeah.
He starts going to that bread and butter and what he knows works. You know what I mean? But he does get a little carried away sometimes. But it's expected when, you know what I mean? Like, when you having the season that he's having, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Get excited a little bit.
Yeah, I loved his leadership at the moment when RJ got, I think, his third foul.
You know what? Hold on. I'm sorry. I'm gonna stop you there. Listen, I love Julius Randle, right? But RJ Barrett got the foul, and RJ was going to talk to the ref, and Julius Randle tapped him like, "Come, no, listen." Julius Randle has no. You talk about somebody talking to the refs and complaining about every single call. He complains about every single call ever made. Right?
It's leadership, man. Leadership. Yeah. He's trying to exhort that, man.
Listen, I seen him do that. Yeah. And that's the first thing I said to myself is he's the last person that needs to be telling RJ Barrett to stay away from the referee. You know what I'm saying? Because Randall does it doesn't matter if the play is right or wrong. I've seen him straight up travel and he turn around like, what, and walking side by side with the ref beefing with him. Like, Randall, you just traveled. Like you literally traveled with the basketball.
Well, I
don't even want to hear that.
I also saw him get hit in the eye. They didn't call nothing on that.
He did. Got smacked in the eye.
Yeah.
Yep. Got smacked in the eye.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
What's going on?
What's going on?
Hey, Kev, I heard what you said earlier. I hear everything.
I know you do, my brother.
And another thing with Randall, what gets me sometimes is when those calls start going against him. It's like he gets in his mind like, okay, watch this. I'm about to bust this dude. And then and that's some of those areas and times when he starts coming down and taking some crazy shots, right? And like really starts going for self. And I'm like, yo, Randall, calm down, relax.
Right.
Relax. But when he gets mad, you can see it. Like he starts going real hard on the offensive side. He'll pick up an offensive foul.
Yeah.
Do something crazy.
I think I asked this before. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead, Isaiah. I'm sorry.
Please, Kev.
See, I said
I just wanted to say, man, again, shout out to you, Sam. Shout out to Tony Tony's day today. Tony's day. Yeah, I mean, it was a good win today, man. Good win. Won our 7th one. RJ played great. Everybody played good, man. Tomorrow's going to be a big game. Really, really big game. A lot of implications on that. But man, listen, man, I'm always gonna say it, man. You gotta take one game at a time. I know we're feeling good right now. I know we're feeling great, but before we talk about winning playoff series and going to the second round, we just gotta relax.
You don't miss the entire conversation we were having. So you come in trying to be Mr. Philosopher and all of that, right? You don't miss the entire conversation that we were having about focusing.
Your mouth gets you in trouble.
But at this point in the season, you have to look at playoff seeding. I'm sorry. You have to.
I agree with you.
If you are not looking at playoff seeding, then you're doing it wrong. You gotta look at playoff seeding at this point.
No, Sam, I'm not. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm not that like. I'm not. I didn't come here to disagree. I'm just saying. Like I said before, we just got to take it one game at a time, and then we look at the playoff seeding and everything, and we just got to focus. We just can't lose sight. But I just don't want to be talking about. The second rounds and
okay. So hold on. So let me ask you this: what's the point? What is the point of getting to the 4th or 5th seed? Answer me that question.
You mean you make the playoffs and you play the first round?
No. That's not. Well, you can make the playoffs by getting into the 8th seed. What's the point of making the 4th or 5th seed and getting home court advantage? Or what's the point of that? And the reason why Nerlens Noel said we have a goal, we want to try to get home court advantage. What is the point of getting home court advantage or the 4th or 5th seed?
I mean, you get home court advantage. You win a series. I mean, you do some things.
To get to the second round, that is the point. To have an easier path to the second round. You don't want to say second round, but that is the point.
I mean, of course, Sim. Everybody wants to make it to the second round. I mean, I get it. Everybody wants.
That's the whole point. That's the whole point of looking at. That's the whole point of looking at playoff seeding, because you want to put yourself in the best position to advance. And what we're saying is that if we get into that 4th or 5th seed, we have a good chance. So if you're saying it's okay to look at playoff seeding, then you're saying it's okay to look and see what is our best chances to advance.
Yeah, but you're trying. See, I get it. I get it. I mean, again, right? If we can face the Hornets, I would. I mean, if we can face the Hawks, I would like that.
I don't want to face the Hornets.
I don't want to face the Hornets either, because I think we'll lose that series. But if we face the Hornets, if we face the Hawks, it would be tough to beat a team 7 times, but we could do it. So, well, no, I mean, I'm
good one, Tom.
Before you try to make a joke, we faced them 3 times this year in the regular season, and we'd have to face them we'd have to win 4 games, so that's 7 games. So don't try to laugh.
It's a different season, but
kind
of starts over.
What?
The playoffs are the playoff season and the regular season are two different things. The game changes.
Don't try to make me sound Sam. Don't try to make me sound stupid when I say that's still 7 games. You beat them 7 times.
I know. I mean, listen. If we would have played them, in the preseason twice, would you have said it's hard to beat a team 9 times?
8 times.
It is hard to beat them 9 times.
The seasons. All I'm saying is the seasons change because rosters are going to be a little bit different. You cut your line. You're probably going to cut. You're going to cut your lineups just a little bit, right? So you're not playing this guy. You're not playing that. I'm just saying. You're still
facing the same player.
I get not necessarily, right? Like Obi Toppin might not play.
Sam, come on.
Listen. Understand what I'm saying. Understand what I'm saying. Listen. Obi Toppin may not play, so Julius Randle may play more minutes, which could increase his production, which could make your team play a little bit better. The rotations on either team gets tighter. The playoffs are very, very different than the regular season. When you play in the regular season, some players are there, some players are not there. When you're in the playoffs, you're going to have your teams there. That's all I'm saying. So to me, it's very different.
But that's why I also said, Sim, that's why I said it's hard to beat a team 7 times.
Well, either way, they got to play us too, man.
Exactly. Like, are
you a Knicks fan?
Let me just check this out. Check this out, Isaiah. You know what? I was like almost at 600 people. Soon as you came in, I went down to 500. I don't know what happened.
Sim, that's a damn lie.
I'm not lying to you.
Oh, don't. Man.
Real quick, can I just respond to what Steph said about what'd you say? Us playing better down the stretch.
We've gotten better, but I would like us to get even.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think that's what we're witnessing now.
Right.
And just on my side to answer my own question, I think what I'm looking for is one, when we get these leads, to start sustaining the leads to where to where we're not even worried about down the stretch. I'm enjoying. I mean, it's hard. You know what I mean? Heartbeat racing. You know what I mean? It's hard watching these games down the stretch. But I mean, I'm enjoying it. Even before the win streak, we had 4 games that went right down the stretch. You know what I mean? Yeah. We was right there. The Nets. Who else?
Philadelphia.
Yeah. Those 2 Miami games. I mean, like we was
Brooklyn.
We was taking these games down the stretch for a while now. So I think right now we're witnessing, like you said, we're improving, we're getting there. But I want to see us. I want to see us start.
So, for instance, like
avoiding it altogether.
You know what I mean? Giving some bench guys some minutes. Like it seems like we're gonna have to be a 30.
I was about to say.
The problem
2 minutes left.
Yeah, the problem with putting those players in, like a Knox, like an Obi, is that when we have these leads, they got to help us sustain them, and it only takes like 2 or 3 baskets for a team to get back in, into the game, either tie or take the lead. Like when we had the 9-point lead against, even though it was early against the Hornets tonight, they took it right back because we didn't pay attention to detail of this guy, Washington, hitting all those threes against us. And eventually they took the lead and we had to fight hard as hell just to, we were down 3 in the first quarter, then we were down 6 in the second quarter. And then we finally,
Well, I think that's the next
I can't believe it, dog. I have to agree with Kev because, again, God, Lord, look at Kev. No, I have to agree because even tonight, watching Kevin Knox, that just hurt my eyes. I mean, he looked completely lost. He was just, again, the way he opens his back door, I guarantee you he lives in a white neighborhood.
Yeah.
The back door
yeah. Because there are a few times.
I didn't get it. I mean, I'll be real with you, watching that kid tonight, and it just hurts because watching him play versus watching Miles Bridges play that was in the same draft that was picked, it just kills me.
You know what? Wow. No pun intended, but that's water under the bridge. Okay, it don't kill me. This is who we have on our team, and I want my coaching staff to work with him to try to get the best that we can out of it. And you know what? He got in the game. Jalen McDaniels cut past him and scored. But you know what? In the midst of that, we seen several players, when Kevin Knox was not in the game, go down the center of the lane and score. Yeah. When we had our defenders in the game, we seen guys in this very game when Kevin Knox
a couple times.
I mean, but in
Washington
this
did it a couple times. Yeah, this game right here.
But here's the difference.
No, hold on. In this very game, when our defenders were in the game, from out of bounds plays, guys cut down the lane and score. You know what I'm saying? Look, Kevin Knox, I'm not going to cry and complain about Kevin Knox or Miles Bridges or Mikal Bridges or whoever else. This is the team that we have, and we are playing well. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And if it comes, it comes.
But here's the thing, though. But what Kev's talking about is that, you know what? If we do get a nice, reasonable lead, players like Kevin Knox that, you'd have sometimes forced to play because you can't keep playing RJ, you can't keep playing Randall, and them guys do need rest. And you do play a Kevin Knox and an Obi Toppin, and the defense isn't there. That forces Randall and RJ to play more minutes. They're going to be more tired, and then we're going to. So that's going to kill us when we're trying to get.
I get that. But soon
in the playoffs, they probably won't play anyway.
Exactly. Alec Burks is going to be there.
Right, exactly.
Right. But I will say this is the first game where I felt like Knox looked a bit out of sorts. And I would say for Obi is doing okay. I mean, it doesn't show up in his stats, but when he comes in for Randall, I don't get the sense that we're losing a lead because Obi is in the game. He's kind of holding it.
It's really bad defense.
It's about the team.
But I don't get the sense that people are scoring on him, where you're like, oh, wow, we got to take Obi out the game. This guy didn't just score 6 points on him. You're right. He may not look great defensively, but it's not hurting us. They're not taking advantage of it.
Right. I agree.
Yeah,
course,
I
Scott.
mean, you know, listen, you know, we have a team, and they're working. Everyone has their little role that they're playing, and everyone's not going to be perfect. Right now, I'm just happy with what the team is doing, knowing that, you know, you got guys like Kevin Knox and Frank Ntilikina who are just filling in until Alec Burks gets back. When we get in the playoffs, the guys most likely ain't seeing the floor, as long as Alec Burks and Frank Ntilikina are healthy.
And we also have to wait for, you know, Burks comes back, you know, for him to get his, you know, his win, because we saw what happened with Rose. It took him a while for him to get his, you know, his win back. And now he's looking like the Rose that we had in the, you know, when he first came over here and everything. So we're going to have, so Burks is, I mean, if he does have it, he's going to really have to work his way back into the shape that he was before he went out.
Yeah. But I want to get back to this game with Atlanta, Steph. This is going to be the first time we've seen them healthy, right? Tonight, they played tonight. They beat Orlando, right? Trae Young played. Bogdanovich played. Clint Capella, John Collins, Kevin Huerter. Lou Williams is now playing.
Oh, I forgot about it.
Right. So,
man.
Yeah. Their rookie gave him 15 minutes too. Onyeka?
And Onyeka, right. So, you know, they're at full strength. Lou Williams gave him 22 points tonight. Trae Young, 25. Bogdanovich, 14. Clint Capella, 14 and 19. John Collins, 11 and 15. Huerter gave him 15 points tonight. They scored 112. They beat the Orlando Magic 112-96. And it's part of the reason why they are now having a winning streak, because, you know, they got trade. You know, well, not because of the trade. I mean, I'm sure that's part of it, but they're healthy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They're healthy and playing better basketball.
Right.
Yeah, the guy that scares me, this was just to surprise you, but the guy that scares me is Gallinari. At his
Gallinari
size.
didn't even play.
Yeah, Gallinari's no, he's not playing.
He's injured.
Oh, he's injured. Oh, jeez. All right, never mind.
Yeah, he's not playing. So you know, it's going to be a little bit of a different game. I still don't think their defense is that great.
On par with ours,
right?
Yeah.
I don't think their defense is that great. Obviously, they can score the basketball. The good thing is both teams are coming off of back-to-backs. But the Knicks are home.
Yeah, the only difference is
okay.
Right, exactly.
Right. Yeah,
right, exactly. Where they could just leave the arena and go home and come back the next day.
Right. They're flying up from Atlanta. I mean, I'm sorry, they're flying up from Orlando. The Knicks, you know, get a chance to rest and relax. You know, they're getting off the plane, getting in the hotel, sleepy, tired, and then they'll be at the game tomorrow. So, you know, that's something that does make a difference, because both teams are on the back-to-back, but they're traveling. And so that should even the playing field. And, you know, hopefully the Knicks are going to be ready to pull this thing out tomorrow, you know, against a team that has been, you know, they've been playing well. I got to give it to them. I do think we can beat anybody. We play our game, we can beat anybody. I feel that way. We're 8-2 in our last 10 games, 7 in a row. They're 8-2 in their last 10 games. They've won 2 in a row. They're 32-26 on the season. We're 32-27 on the season. So
this is a playoff game tomorrow.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, it is.
Yes,
yeah,
ma'am.
it is. This is a playoff game tomorrow.
This is a playoff game. Yeah,
you know,
I mean, they don't want to give up that 4th seed.
Right. And both teams understand that seed is at stake, right? And let me tell you something, and I know people are going to start going crazy, right? But Atlanta's only 3.5 games behind the Bucks for that 3rd seed. The Bucks are 35-22. Right? They're 13 games above 500. But when you look at the win column, they're 3 games above Atlanta in the win column. And they're 4 games better than Atlanta in the loss column. Right now, is there enough games for a team like the Knicks or Atlanta to catch them? Probably not, unless the Bucks go on a major losing streak. which I don't see happening. They've lost 2 in a row. They're 5-5 in the last 10. I don't see them going on a major loser streak or anything like that. But you know, they're not necessarily out of the woods when it comes to that 4th spot. The Milwaukee Bucks aren't. You know,
the thing about the Milwaukee Bucks, that's a franchise that had its opportunities, and I just see them slipping away. I think the time where they had like the best record in the league, that was the year that they were supposed to really do something. That they were supposed to go to the NBA.
They're a better team now than then.
I don't know. Because
Holiday over
you had Bledsoe.
Bledsoe?
You had
100%.
You had Brogdon too.
All right.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
But I would say about this Atlanta. Okay, that has.
No, I was gonna say I see in the chat, or someone said we own the tiebreaker against Milwaukee. We do. Does Milwaukee slip that far? I don't think they slip that far, but hey, it's still not a bad thing to have that tiebreaker just in case they do slip that far.
Right.
Hey, if they stay on 500 pace, we might could catch them.
If we stay on 100.
Yeah, right. We stay at 100, right? Yeah, if you stay on 100, but you know, hey, you know this what the Knicks have 13 games left to the season, right? 13 games left to the season. I just don't think it's enough. Milwaukee, they have about the same. They're 35-22. 35-22. That's 57. So they have 15 games left to the season. I can't see it. They'd have to go on a serious like they'd have to go. They've lost 2 in a row. They'd have to lose 5 more in a row. You know, and then it'd be like, okay, you caught it. It's hard for me to see them going on that kind of a slide. You never know, but I just don't see them going on that kind of a slide. You know, either way, you know, 4th seed is fine with me. You know what I'm saying? If we could get to that 4th or 5th seed, you know, that way we avoid one of those 3 teams one of those top 3 teams.
The winner of 4-5 plays
1. I believe they play 1.
Yeah, I think you're right. Right.
I think the winner of 4-5 plays 1, and I would rather play Philadelphia than Brooklyn.
Really?
Yeah, I'd rather play Philly. I feel like Philly is a team that can go on scoring lapses, where Brooklyn, when everybody's there, it's hard for me to see them going on a scoring lapse. You know what I mean? I know their defense isn't as good, but it's just hard for me to see them going on a scoring lapse. Of course,
yeah.
with Philly, you got to deal with Joel Embiid, which is a big sore spot for us because we don't have anyone of that size, you know, that can deal with them. But you know, of course,
I think you're right. Plus, we haven't played them at full strength. I mean, only 7 teams have, but you know what I mean.
Right.
We haven't played, you know, all 3 of them. So,
well, Tony, to be honest, they've only played 7 games to all 3 of them together. So
I just said that.
Kev, is that so damn funny, Kev?
Yes, it is. Anytime somebody can get you, it's always funny. No, I'm just kidding.
You know, let me tell you, it's amazing that with Brooklyn, without those guys playing, you know, hardly even playing together, they're still just a half game behind Philadelphia for that 1st seed. Just imagine if those guys actually did play together all season long, and that's why I want to avoid them in the playoffs for as long as possible. You know what I'm saying?
Eastern Conference Finals.
Right. Listen, if we gotta match them, if we have to play them, you know, I wouldn't want to play them into the Eastern Conference Finals. You know, so if we're able to get to that 4th or 5th seed, get to the second round. In the second round, I'd rather play Philly than Brooklyn, because if we're in that 4th or 5th seed, we play the 1st seed. So I'd rather be Philly than Brooklyn. And who knows if it's going to be. I know Brooklyn owns the tiebreaker. I mean, Philadelphia owns the tiebreaker. Right? There's a little bit of controversy about KD played the night before instead of playing against Philly, which I still believe this is Steve Kerr, Mike D'Antoni, and them guys playing mind games with the rest of the league. The last game that we played Brooklyn, they decided, oh, we're not going to play this guy and that guy. Right? Brooklyn's playing Philadelphia. No, we're not going to play KD. Because to me, now, Philadelphia never gets a chance to see what the matchup looks like. Just like we never get a chance to see what that matchup looks like. Milwaukee, too. They sat all those guys, and then the next night, they all played. Right? The next game, they all played. To me, that's almost a thing like, if we see these guys in the playoffs, we don't want to give them a chance to really see what these matchups look like. You know what I'm saying? Because even though, they're like, listen, we can sit all of our guys, and we're still going to be in the third 1 through 3. Right? Because they're only 3.5 games below Brooklyn, which I don't think they're going to catch Brooklyn. They're only 3.5 games below Brooklyn. But, we can sit guys, and we know where we're going to be. So we don't want to give them a chance to actually be able to game plan for us. And I think that's what Brooklyn did with Philadelphia. They're like, we don't care about that first seed. They still have a chance to get that first seed, right? But it's like we'd rather not allow them to game plan, to go up against KD, Kyrie, and James Harden.
And then they get 2 quick wins in the series, and then now you start adjusting and figuring out how to play against them.
Right. Exactly.
When you're already down.
Exactly.
But I tell you, man, if we get to the Eastern Conference Finals and we have to meet Brooklyn, New York is going to be lit.
Subway Series for real.
Lit for real.
Man, that would be something.
It is still
in the quarterfinals is going to be crazy.
You're absolutely
In the quarterfinals is going to be crazy.
Right.
Yeah, it's going to be crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But listen, we got to get there first, and we got to take care of Atlanta to get there. We got to take care of Atlanta to get there, man. It's amazing. 13 games left in the season, and this is where we are?
Yes, sir. This is where we are.
Where
were we like this 2 years ago? 2 years ago, we were talking about the draft.
Last year we was talking about
that too. Well, we didn't. Well, it was cut off. The season was cut off last year, so that was the reason why I said 2 years.
Isaiah's still talking about the draft.
Yeah, I know. Still talking about the draft.
Still talking about the draft.
But y'all can forget
all these guys thinking about the draft. They need to. It's not happening this year, unfortunately. It's not.
And still looking at this, when I looking at the upcoming games, the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 are all games that
winnable
that we can. I mean, the Hawks, the Raptors, the Suns. We'll see about the Suns, but then the Bulls, the Rockets, and the Memphis Grizzlies. Right, we've beaten the Bulls, we've beaten the Rockets, we've beaten the Grizzlies, we've beaten the Raptors, we've beaten the Hawks already. So these are all teams that, in this stretch right here where it's really winnable until we get on that West Coast trip, right? Well, actually, Houston and Memphis are part of the West Coast trip. The hard part of the West Coast trip is Denver, Phoenix, the Clippers, and Los Angeles Lakers. That's the tough part.
But I'm going to tell you, I'm not really afraid of the Suns that much now because of the way Reggie is playing. He's playing unbelievable defense on whoever is their number one, the number one guy. Now, they do have Chris Paul.
I've been telling you that all year.
Yeah. But you're right. You're right, Tom. You're absolutely right. I mean, he's healthy, and Reggie Bullock, he's healthy, and he just goes all out. I mean,
he can't play all of them.
He can't play all of them. No, you're absolutely right. He can't play all of them. But the thing about it also is if and when Tibbs has an ace in the hole with ace in his pocket with if he has to bring Frank out. So you got 2 defensive guys right there.
He almost made it through a show without mentioning Frank.
Almost.
I know. But what I like about the way he uses Frank, honestly, the way I like when he uses Frank is that that situational part, and he'll put him in and everything where it's meaningful. So And
So.
unlike, well, I'm not gonna bust on Knox and everything, but when Frank is in there, he makes the most of his minutes, and that's all I'm gonna say.
I will give you that.
Too. This was the first game.
Yeah,
The other game he hit a corner shot. This was the first game where I thought he looked a little out of sorts. Recently.
Yeah.
Well, ladies and gentlemen,
great
win tonight, man. Great win tonight for the New York Knicks. We are on a 7-game win streak. We're up into that 5th seed right now. We got a chance to get to the 4th seed if we can win tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be on tomorrow doing a game preview about 3:30. So please make sure that you join us.
Make it 6 o'clock.
That'd be great. 6 o'clock. Nah, I'm not gonna do 6.
Do that.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you join us tomorrow about 3:30 for the game preview, and hopefully we pull this win out. Great win tonight for the Knicks. Some last words, Kevin. I'll come to you, then Tony, then Steph. Got some last words.
Great win. Let's just keep it going. Let's just keep it going. This team is very formidable. This team has a lot of heart. This team puts it out on every play. I'm loving what I'm seeing, and I haven't been able to say that. I mean, I've been a fan, of course, but I'm just loving the way this team is going, and I haven't really said that in a long time. So it's great to see.
Yeah, Tony.
Yeah, one game at a time, one milestone at a time. Let's get number 8. But shout out to the chat, shout out to the panel. Yo, Black, it's time. Sim, keep doing your thing.
Appreciate it. And Steph?
Hey. Yeah.
Let's get that 4th seed tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
And I think the tiebreaker, right? Would it be the tiebreaker with Atlanta? I'm not sure.
We already have the tiebreaker. We beat them.
Okay.
Yeah, we've beaten them
twice
already. So.
Okay. Yeah, let's get that on 4th seed tomorrow. I'm really interested in how we respond tomorrow, knowing what's at stake. It's like a mini playoff preview. So I'm interested in
it is.
See how people perform tomorrow.
And just to show you how go ahead.
I think they felt like that tonight, though. You know what I mean? I think this one had implications as well.
Yeah.
So I think I think we hitting our stride, man.
Yeah.
We hitting our stride. We about to take off right before the playoffs.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, and just to
great time to be peaking.
Yeah, and just to show you how superstitious I am. This will show you my age too. What I've been doing after a lot of these games. So we won 7, right? We won 7 in a row. So I've been watching Schoolhouse Rock. That was one of those shows from back in the 70s that was show on Saturday mornings. I played lucky number 7. So tomorrow we win tomorrow night. It'll be figure 8. So there you go.
Okay. All right. Okay.
You gotta be a
Shows my age. Show my age.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate you all. Please, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel. Hit that like button for me. And we're out of here, ladies and gentlemen. I'll catch you tomorrow. Tomorrow as we do the game preview. Be peaceful, spread love, and go Knicks.